The Premier League is absolutely shaking. Actually, scratch that. The entire Premier League is absolutely terrified, and they have every right to be. Manchester City are assembling an attack so devastating, so ridiculously stacked with talent that it feels unfair. We're talking about a front line that could score goals in their sleep. We're talking about depth that most teams can only dream of. We're talking about Pep Guardiola building something that might just break football. So let's break down exactly why defenders are having nightmares about facing Manchester City this season. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because this is gonna blow your mind. Drop a like if you're ready to see why City's attack is absolutely unstoppable. Let's start with the newest addition that's about to make everything even more terrifying. Antoine Semeno is coming to Manchester City. The Bournemouth winger has a £65 million release clause that becomes active on January 1st and stays active until January 10th. Manchester City have won the race. Semeno chose City over Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Tottenham because he wants trophies. This season, Semeno has scored 8 goals in 16 Premier League games for Bournemouth.
Plenty support to his left, Semeno, if he can see them in his peripheral vision. Semeno! 2-2!
Now imagine what he can do surrounded by world-class talent, getting service from the best midfielders in the league, playing under Pep Guardiola. He's a goal-scoring winger who can play on either flank with pace and strength. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed Semeno has given the green light. City are getting even more dangerous.
My understanding is that Manchester City in the last 12 hours, as I was posting on my accounts, have been really insisting. Let's say since the early morning, City have been very clear with Semeno. We want you, we believe you can be a big part of our team. City also presented, like Man United and all the others, a tactical approach for Semeno. He can play as a winger, but Man City also believe in some cases he can play in a more central position when needed. So Man City sees Semeno as a perfect option in terms of speed, in terms of quality, in terms of goal contributions, in terms of physicality, something that they wanted to add to the squad for the second half of the season and the future, of course, because it's going to be a very long contract.
Now let's talk about the man who's already destroying the league, Erling Haaland. 19 goals in 17 Premier League games this season. In all competitions, he's got 25 goals in 23 games.
Semeno, quick feet away from Calafiori. Haaland just checked his one to stay onside. Erling Haaland, for the 100th time, places the ball into the back of the net for Manchester City.
He has 103 Premier League goals in 114 games total. He became the fastest player ever to reach 100 Premier League goals in just 111 games. In the Champions League this season, he's got 6 goals in 6 games and became the fastest player ever to reach 50 Champions League goals in 49 matches. What makes Haaland so terrifying isn't just the goals, it's how he scores them. Headers, tap-ins, volleys, long-range strikes, penalties. Defenders know what he's going to do and still can't stop him. With Semeno coming in to add more firepower, Haaland is going to get even more service, even more space, even more goals. But City don't just rely on Haaland alone, and that's what makes them so incredibly dangerous. Phil Foden is having another brilliant season with 7 Premier League goals. The Stockport Iniesta is operating at an elite level, floating between positions, popping up in pockets of space, and finishing chances with ice-cold composure. Foden is the kind of player who can take over games when Haaland is being marked out. Then there's Ryan Cherki. Remember him? The £34 million signing from Lyon back in June. The kid is absolutely tearing it up, with outstanding performances. 6 assists in just 6 Premier League starts. And get this, he's leading the entire league in assists despite only starting 6 games. That's absolutely ridiculous. In total, he's got 4 goals and 7 assists in 24 appearances across all competitions this season. But here's what makes Turkey truly special: his partnership with Phil Foden. Those two have combined for 10 goal contributions in just 4 matches together. 10 in 4 matches! Defenders don't know whether to mark Foden or Turkey. Turkey is two-footed, unpredictable, and has that street footballer mentality where he'll try things that make coaches pull their hair out but make fans jump out of their seats in excitement. He came from Lyon, where he was their top assist provider in both League One and the Europa League during his time there. Pep Guardiola has compared him to Messi in terms of unpredictability, saying he sometimes loves him and sometimes hates him, because you never know what Turkey is going to do next on the pitch. That unpredictability is exactly what makes him so dangerous and so difficult for defenders to handle. And we can't forget about Jeremy Doku, the Belgian winger who's all about creativity, pace, and absolute chaos on the flanks. Between him and Turkey, they've got 10 assists in the Premier League, and they create havoc on the wings with their dribbling ability. Doku is the kind of player who beats his man with pace and trickery, then delivers perfect crosses into the box. When you've got Haaland in the middle and Semeno about to arrive, those crosses become goals more often than not. Now let's talk about Tijjani Reinders, because this signing doesn't get enough attention. City paid £46.5 million for him in June 2025, bringing him over from AC Milan, where he was named Serie A Best Midfielder for the 2024-25 season. At Milan, he scored 15 goals in 54 games, more than doubling his previous best tally in a single season. He's a mobile central midfielder who loves going forward into the final third and the opposition's penalty area. He scored on his Premier League debut against Wolves, bagging a goal and an assist to Haaland in a 4-0 win. Reinders gives City that extra goal threat from midfield that they've been missing. Bernardo Silva is still there too, wearing the captain's armband after Kyle Walker's departure. The Portuguese magician has been exceptional for City, slotting into multiple roles and performing at a high level wherever Pep asks him to play. Silva is one of the most intelligent players in the league, always finding space, always making the right pass, always keeping the ball moving. With Semeno potentially coming in, there's talk that Silva might leave, but for now, he's still a massive part of what makes City's attack so fluid and dangerous. Then there's Omar Marmoush, the £59 million signing from Eintracht Frankfurt back in January 2025. Now, Marmoush hasn't quite hit the ground running at City yet. 0 goals in 10 Premier League games isn't what anyone expected, especially after he scored 15 goals in the first half of the 2024-25 Bundesliga season, finishing as the second top scorer behind Harry Kane. He was Bundesliga Player of the Month in September 2024, but he struggled to get consistent game time at City. He hasn't started a Premier League game since recovering from a brief injury in September. But here's the thing, the talent is absolutely there. When Marmoush finds his rhythm, he's going to be another weapon for Pep to unleash. And if Savinho and Oscar Bob can stay fit, City's depth becomes even more ridiculous. Savinho hasn't scored in the league yet this season, but he's got quality. Oscar Bob is seriously considering leaving in January if Semeno arrives, especially after struggling with recurring fitness issues. Several clubs, including Borussia Dortmund, have already made approaches for him. But if Bob stays and gets fit, that's another talented player ready to contribute. Let's talk about what all of this means for the Premier League title race. City are currently second in the table, just 2 points behind Arsenal. They've been closing the gap steadily, winning 5 out of their last 5 games according to the form table. Arsenal were 7 points clear not long ago, but City's relentless winning has cut that lead down to almost nothing. And now they're about to add Antoine Semeno to this already terrifying attack. Think about that. City's biggest weakness has been over-reliance on Haaland. 46% of their goals this season have come from the Norwegian. That's dangerous if something happens to him. But with Semeno coming in as a proven goal scorer, suddenly City have another 20-goal-a-season threat on the wings. The depth is what makes this truly frightening. Most teams have one, maybe two genuinely elite attackers. City are about to have Haaland, Semeno, Foden, Cherki, Doku, Reinders pushing forward, Bernardo Silva orchestrating, and Marmoush waiting for his chance. That's 7 different players who can destroy you on any given day. Pep can rotate, keep everyone fresh, and still field an attack that would start for literally any other team in the league. Defenders are already struggling to contain Haaland. Now imagine trying to mark him when Semeno is running at you from the left, Cherki is floating in from the right, Foden is popping up in the hole, and Reinders is bombing forward from midfield. Where do you even start? If you double-team Haaland, Semeno scores. If you focus on Semeno, Haaland scores. If you try to stop both, Foden or Cherki will punish you. It's an impossible puzzle to solve. Manchester, let me know in the comments which team you think can actually stop this attack. I'll see you in the next one.